So today we're going to take a look at how to solve problems that involve negative exponents. If you remember, an exponent is a mathematical expression that shows a base number and an exponent index. That base number is a number that we multiply by itself a certain number of times, and the number of times that we repeat that multiplication is indicated by the index. So for example, 5 to the 7th power just means we multiply 5 by itself a total of 7 times. Now that's true when your exponent index is a positive number, but what happens when you have an exponent where the index is negative? An exponent with a negative index just means we're going to perform repeated division. So let's talk about something real quick that helps to make sense of how negative exponents work. Let's talk about an exponent with an index of 0. This is a rule that you should memorize. Any exponent that has an index of 0 is always equal to 1. Think of it this way. 4 to the power of 1 is equal to 4. 4 to the 2nd power is 4 times itself twice, or 4 times 4, which is 16. 4 to the 3rd power is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64, and so on. You may notice the pattern. The numbers increase each time the index never goes up. But if we were to go backwards from 4 to the 3rd power to 4 to the 2nd power, you would see we're dividing by 4, right? So if 4 to the 1st power is 4, then 4 to the 0 power is 1, because 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. If we were to take 4 to the 0 power, which is 1, and divide it by 4, what do we get? We get 1/4, which is the same thing as 4 to the negative 1st power. If we take 1/4 and divide it again by 4, we would get 1/16. This process repeats as the negative exponent increases. Now that you know the theory of how negative exponents work, and how they represent repeated division instead of repeated multiplication, let's look at the steps involved for solving them. The steps for solving negative exponents are: Step 1. Change the number to its reciprocal. Step 2. Make the exponent positive. Step 3. Solve as you would a positive exponent. So let's look at 4 to the negative 1st power again, and start with step 1. Change the number to its reciprocal. Well, what on earth is a reciprocal? Well, it's just a fancy word for meaning inverse or opposite. In this case, the number 4 can be written in fraction form as 4 over 1. The reciprocal or inverse of that number would be 1 over 4. Reciprocal just means that you're flipping the numerator and the denominator. Step 2. We rewrite it as 1/4 and we change our exponent of -1, but now we turn it positive. Step 3. Solve as you would a positive exponent. We know that 4 to the 1st power is just 4, so 1/4 to the 1st power would just be 1/4. Let's look at another 4 examples just to make sure you understand. The first example, 10 to the negative 3rd power. First, we take the reciprocal of 10, or we flip it. 10 can assume to be 10 over 1, so now we make it 1 over 10. Next, we change our index to be positive. We are now looking at 1 over 10 cubed. We know from our powers of 10 learning that 10 cubed is going to be 1 followed by 3 zeros. So we can solve this as being 1 over 1,000 or 1/1000th. Next example, 2 to the negative 5th power. Step 1, rewrite it from 2 over 1 to be 1 over 2. Next, we keep the same index, but we change it to a positive number. Finally, we solve for 2 to the 5th power, which is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. The answer of 2 to the negative 5th power is equal to 1 over 32. Third example, 3 to the negative 3rd power. First, we rewrite 3 to be 1 over 3. We change the index from -3 to +3. 3 to the 3rd power is equal to 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So our answer is 1 over 27. Last example, 4 to the negative 2nd power. We change 4 to be 1 over 4. We change the index from -2 to +2. We know 4 times 4 is 16, so the final answer is 1 over 16. Now that wasn't that bad, was it? Just remember, when you have a negative exponent, you flip the number or write the reciprocal, change the negative index to a positive number, and you solve. If you want some more practice on negative exponents, head on over to my site at improvedmath.com and grab a worksheet. I have links in the description below. Also in the description are links to other concepts mentioned in this video. All math resources are free on my site. If you want to help me so I can keep creating more free math content, click on that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.